All right, look. You got a little figure and you got a big figure. We're not there yet. We're still talking about dilations, but this is the entire point of similarity, which is trig, and dilations. It means you have a mini-me. They're not twins like congruency. Okay, so when you have a big and a small, see how the variables are on the smaller one? Okay, so we're going to go small over big, okay? So I'm going to go small figure over big figure. And that's because see how the variables are on top? I want the variables on top. All right, so now if I color code, which means I need markers. All right, so I'll go x to 3. So x over 3. And this is a statement of proportionality. What I'm writing is a statement of proportionality. You just make a fraction or ratios instead of equal to each other of corresponding sides. It's just matchy-matchy. Where's my pen? And you just have to make sure you are consistent. So if you're going small over big, make sure you're writing small over big, because if one of them I was to switch, then my answer is trash. Okay, so I just went small over big, right? So figure B is on top, figure A is on the bottom, right? Okay, now I'm going to now solve for X, Y, and Z. Now, even though you guys can do it in your heads, let's see mathematically how you solve it. And it's by the cross product property. This entire semester is the cross product property. CPP. And it means you can multiply diagonally. You could also switch, okay, but we're not there yet. My im2 class, this entire semester, it's trig so far. So the first test they took today, it has, the entire test has the cross product property. It's how you solve. So you're going to master this semester. Okay, one of these fractions is more important than the other three because it gives you the scale factor. Which one is it? Orange, blue, pink, or green? Which one's your most important fraction? Ratio. Which color? Green. Why do you say green? Because it's two numbers. That is your scale factor. See how that's a variable number, variable number, variable number? These are what I need to find. This is what's desired. This gives me everything I need to know. This is my scale factor. And my scale factor is at 2 over 6. And if you were to reduce it, you'd get 1/3. But we're not doing that right now. Okay? But this is your scale factor. Okay. That yellow is how you're going to solve for X, Y, and Z. So say I have no mental math ability. I need to solve it formally, correctly, mathematically. If I want to solve for X, I take my X fraction and I set it equal to my scale factor fraction, and you just cross product. So if I was to multiply, I get 6x is equal to 6. And now what do I do with this 6? Divide it and I get 1. And so what a lot of you said before we even started it, you guys are like, oh, well, that's 2 to 6. How do you get 2 to become 6? I would, right? You were like, oh, I would multiply by 3. Okay, so this figure A is 3 times as big as this one. So if this is 3, we'll go backwards. 1 times 3 gives me 3, because 3 divided by 3 is 1, right? Okay, so now how do I solve for y? You take your y ratio and you set it equal to your scale factor and you cross product. And so I get 6y. 6 times 2 is 12. I divide by 6 and I get 2. So you're solving formally, correctly, by a textbook, right? Khan Academy. We're not using any mental math, right? You want to know how to do the easy ones correctly, so that when it gets difficult, you're just moving through it. You don't get stuck, okay? And now how do I solve for z? Take that ratio, set it equal to your scale factor. So you have to know what your scale factor ratio is, because it's what you use to find And so divide by 6, and I get 1, and that's it. Okay, if you're, because I see some of you guys are on your Chromebook, so if you're doing work from another class, that's fine. It's kind of like rainy day, like tons of absences. All right, if you want to move on with 6, 7, and 8, here, let me just kind of move this a little bit. Okay, this tells you to go from figure A to figure B in terms of reduction and enlargement. We'll do that tomorrow, but for today, see if you can find the values. This is a statement of proportionality. Statement of, because there are a bunch of proportions, proportionality. Okay, okay, that's what this is here. That's how you solve your unknowns. When we learn trig, this is how you're going to solve it, and then I'll show you how to do it mental math way. Shortcut and then mental math. Okay, you want to solve for 6, 7, and 8. You typically want your top to have the variables. Remember, you really don't want the variables on the bottom, or at least I don't. You can still solve for it, but it just looks cleaner if the variables are on top. Okay, so here, you would probably go big over small, right? See how the variables are on the bigger triangle? So here, go big over small. For 7, go small over big. Small over the big figure, so your variables are always the numerators. And then here, go small over big, okay? And see if you can solve it, but be able to identify your scale factor. You guys have questions? You guys, are you okay? Okay, tomorrow as well, I'll read off, my AVV went through the move-its and the images. And she checked off your names if you guys submitted it. So I'll read off your names tomorrow and let you guys know if I have none of them or I have one of them. I'll let you guys know tomorrow, okay? I'm not putting this in the grade book yet, okay? But I'll let you guys know. So if you guys have it in your folder, you can work on it today, tomorrow, but I'll let you guys know who you are, okay? All right, let me turn this off.